say there's a red fairy in the forest, and if she sees you, it's already too late. Too late to run, too late to hide, but not too late to scream. She likes it when the humans scream. They'll tell each other that it increases her appetite. She's never experienced this herself, though, and she's not sure where the rumor came from. Maybe from kids around the campfires who wouldn't dream of entering the forest themselves. Oh, how growing up proves them wrong. The humans must enter the forest to keep the darkness from spreading, or her territory will grow. The border has been at a standstill for years now, maintained by temporary charms that need frequent replacement. And how silly it is that these charms require ingredients within the forest touched by the darkness. She dare not cross the border, for that is not her task. She awaits deep in the trees in this land she's compelled to call home, waiting for one experienced misstep or one novice blunder. Humans will always make mistakes, and they always scream. No, it had no impact on her appetite. She would eat them all the same. Sometimes she would pretend that their screams were songs, ballads composed just for her. She had heard singing, real singing, exactly one time. The silly humans sang out a carefree tune as they ventured through her territory, easily drawing her near. Sadly, she was driven to rip the sweet melody from their throat with her sharp teeth. That was the only time she felt an inkling of resentment towards the darkness. The faceless force cared little for the pleasures she may benefit from the humans. She tried asking the darkness to sing for her instead, but was met with no response. In fact, the whispers echoing in her head stopped completely for days, and she was afraid she angered the darkness with her selfish request. When the whispers returned, she followed them to an edge of the forest she rarely visited. It shared no line with the humans that needed her defense. It was a corner so saturated with the darkness, even she felt like the intruder. The darkness did affect the wildlife, but here she was apprehensive to still call them animals. The twisted creatures watched her, a reflection of how she watched the humans. She imagined, for the first time, how the humans must see her. The whispers led her to the edge of a small pond. The pool of water glowed dimly, and past her reflection in the still surface lay a drowned creature. It was possible that the size of this thing made the depth of the water seem shallow. Its talons twisted inward, digging into its own chest. Its beak was drawn open, in an eternal scream to follow it beyond death. Did that scream sound anything like singing, she wondered? The still water suddenly rippled, and the creature's searing green eyes opened. It breached the pond's surface, like piercing through the veil back into life. Its talons withdrew from its chest, and an oily substance poured from the puncture wounds. Each movement forward rained feathers off of its body, first one by one, then in clumps. Its monstrous form melted off of its bones, all the while its beak remained open and silent. Perhaps some screams are too agonizing to be heard in this world. It collapsed onto the soil when the integrity of its body failed, and the disintegrating carcass once again laid lifeless. The fairy began to take her leave, but the sound of tearing flesh turned her back around. Born from the corpse was a new form. She could have mistaken it for a human upon first glance, but mutated corners of his body gave way hints of the monster underneath his ashen skin. Sharp claws dug into the earth at his feet as he stood for the first time like a newborn animal. His eyes were the same incandescent green, confirming to her that this was the same creature. He questioned his existence, to which she had no answers to offer other than he was a Nemo just like her. It was the only explanation, as the whispers echoed in both of their heads. In the coming days, he proved just as lethal as she, if not with more precision. He sliced and cut while she ripped and tore. He hunted while she laid in wait. The only thing he didn't do was eat the humans that fell by his hand. Wasteful, if you ask her. She chittered and chirped at him in the quiet moments when there were no humans invading. She was often met with stoic responses or an ancient stillness that reminded her of Forest Stone. The cold nature of him didn't forestall her attempts. There was a familiarity, a shard of home within him, like the trees rooted with the darkness around them. This presence he brought to the forest was one she wanted to keep. The alliance between the two had devastated the boundary with the humans, and new tales of caution emerged. They say there's a red fairy in the forest, and if she sees you, it's already too late. Others say she befriended a bird.